Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga, Kriya philosophy, self-reflection on yoga, a yoga philosophy practice. I am Grace. So happy you are here. This is a fun lesson and it's a practice lesson. So I will be reading some principles, but it is a practice where you can take the PDF and reflect on the ideas and the questions and the thoughts that we'll be presenting in this lesson. So this is an active one. I'll go through it, and then you take the time to really go within, take some time to be there for yourself and give yourself the gift of really reflecting on these questions and writing what comes to your heart, these questions. If the definition of yoga is to yoke, to become one, to merge with the highest aspect, highest version of the true authentic self, then the question is, how do we do this? Self-reflection is a powerful tool to assist in aligning with our deepest inner truth. Our purpose, our passions, gifts, and talents. Self-reflection helps us come home to our soul, our authentic vibration, our true and highest purpose for this lifetime. We will discuss and offer self-reflection practices to assist in discovering a deeper understanding of all aspects of ourself, bringing unconditional love to all aspects of ourself, healing past wounds and hidden shame, exploring our purpose, creating inner transformation, and discovering that unlimited self. Powerfully stepping into higher and higher versions of ourselves and deepening our union with our indwelling presence, the Atman, soul, and eternal self. An important empowerment principle to embrace is giving up people-pleasing, gaining approval from the external or avoiding disapproval from the external. Also allowing more and more evolved versions of ourselves to emerge as we grow and experience life. Attain to be a completely different, more empowered, higher vibrational human being each and every year of your life. I'd even say every day of your life. Know as you evolve, if those around you don't evolve, you may grow out of some relationships. Those people you grow out of may criticize you and want you to stay the smaller person you were. That is okay. Don't take it personally, nor let it block your growth and your expansion. We will use the yogic philosophy principles below to bring to our self-reflection practices. We suggest you get a notebook to journal responses to these contemplations and meditations. Search our passions and dreams, but also search where we are presently not aligned with our passions and dreams. Where are we doing things we don't want to do? Working at a job that isn't ethically aligned with our principles. Engaging in habits or activities that are not aligned with our highest health. Directing our energy and attention in activities that are not aligned with our purpose, passion, intuition, and heart. Living a lie can take many forms. An example may be someone who deeply wants to connect powerfully with their divine and live according to the will of the God of their understanding. However, they spend all their time in the world and never take time to meditate in God's presence. These are some of the reflections we will have. The 8 limbs of yoga, 12 karmic laws, Dharma, our highest destiny and purpose for this life, journaling, automatic writing, inner child work and playfulness, healing core wounds and past hurts and limiting conditioning, desire and passion, alignment and heart-centered joy, mirror, owning projections, taking responsibility, embracing your gifts, talents, and unique vibrational contributions, coming home to the Atman, the soul, the infinite authentic self. Take time now to envision your dreams come true with wild abandon. Take time to envision what expands your heart and what you love, what brings you joy. Please take a few minutes now to journal what excites you and brings you joy. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you are still amongst the stars. So please pause this video and take a few moments, as long as you need to write down some of your dreams. Wild abandon, no limitations. We begin now contemplations on 8 limbs of yoga, Patanjali's 8 limbs. Number 1 is yamas, morality. Ahimsa, nonviolence. Contemplate how you can be nonviolent towards yourself, avoiding using violent thoughts and actions towards yourself and others. How you can use harmlessness toward the self and all beings. Satya, truthfulness. Contemplate how you can be more honest with yourself and others. And I invite you after each one to pause this video and journal some thoughts on each one. And I'll remind you. I forgot to remind you on ahimsa, nonviolence. Take a moment to pause and journal some thoughts. And start back with satya, truthfulness. Contemplate how you can be more honest with yourself and others. Be more honest with and aligned with your soul truths. The thoughts and actions you direct towards yourself. How can you be more honest and responsible for how you perceive others and the world? Where are you projecting stories that may not be true, but causing pain and suffering? How honest can you be in following your truth, even in those times when it may not be popular? You may be criticized. How honest can you be in each moment to live what you love and brings you joy? Live thy own self, be true, rather than conditioning and approval. And I invite you to pause and journal some self-reflecting thoughts on this beautiful satya, truthfulness, yama. Our next yama is asteya, non-stealing. Contemplate ways you may steal not just physical possessions, but time and energy as well. How are you stealing others' time and energy? And how do you steal your own time and energy? And where do you allow others to steal your own time and energy? How do you waste time or do things that are not aligned with your truth? Not taking that which is not yours in regards to physical objects, time, energy, ideas, intellectual information. I want to give you an example of allowing others to steal your time. Just yesterday, I was with a friend, and we were together for a couple hours. We took a drive and filled up a bunch of water bottles in a beautiful well. And I got a phone call just as we were beginning to head back, and it was someone who just kept talking and talking. And I really wanted to spend that time with my friend, and I allowed this person to steal my time. I got realized we were almost to the exit home, and I hadn't visited with him the whole way back. I was with this other person who I really didn't prefer to talk to. It was my friend I had been physically present with, I was wanting to visit with. And I had allowed that person to steal my time. It was my responsibility. I could have said, I need to go, and they would have been fine with that. But I wasn't mindful of that. And that is an example of allowing someone to steal your time. It wasn't their fault. It was mine. I take responsibility. Brahmacharya, continence, moderation, or abstinence. This can refer to sexual moderation. However, it applies to moderation or abstinence in all areas of our lives. Keep everything in your life in moderation. Everything in moderation. And only you can know what that looks like for you. Abstain from everything that is not enlivening and empowering to you and your life. And I invite you to pause this video and journal on this fourth yama, brahmacharya, moderation. And our fifth yama, paragraha, non-covetousness, non-attachment, non-craving. To be attached creates disempowering emotions like clinginess, urgency, and pushiness. To crave something is to not be free. Contemplate where you may be attached or have cravings, and attain to be committed rather than attached. To be free rather than addicted with cravings in those areas. And I invite you to pause the video, the journal on brahmacharya. Oh no, on aparigraha, the fifth yama. And we'll move on to the niyamas, the observances. And just giving you some time to contemplate these ideas. Sacha, cleanliness of body, mind, and soul. Contemplate areas in your life that can be cleaner. Your hygiene, your diet, the thoughts you think inside your mind, habits. I invite you to pause to journal. Second niyama is samtosa, contentment. Contemplate areas in your life where you are not content. Where are you not present? Mindful. Where do you judge and create perceptions based in conflict? Commit to powerfully choosing peace of mind unconditionally, regardless of circumstances or outcomes. As a commitment, as a choice, as a way of life. Question the truth of thoughts that arise that bring conflict. Commit to no longer waiting for contentment and peace. Choosing now, exactly as you are now, exactly as life is arising now. And I invite you to pause the journal. Our next yama, our third yama, is tapas, heat, spiritual austerities, fiery discipline. Contemplate about where you need more motivation, where you need a fire under your butt to put forth the effort you need to be where you want to be in life. Where can you use constraint and effort to achieve your goals, whether yoga, spiritually, school, career, relationships, health, or otherwise? Where can you add supportive self-discipline in your life that will benefit you positively? I invite you to pause and journal. And our fourth niyama, svadhyaya, study of sacred scriptures and of oneself. What teachings, books, scriptures, philosophies inspire you? This doesn't need to include just yogic philosophy. It could include the Bible, Buddha's Eightfold Path, New Thought, etc. You may have a book of poetry or art that you love. Choose teachings that resonate with your heart and soul. Open your heart and bring balance and clarity to your mind. It brings balance and clarity and it opens your heart. It's probably a good scripture or sacred text for you. The study of oneself is the greatest self-reflection we can do. We usually do this through meditation, contemplation, and what we're doing today, self-inquiry. Our last niyama, the fifth niyama, is vara pranahana, surrender to God. Constantly praying to let go and let God. To surrender our egos, giving up our sense of a separate identity and replacing it with a deep immersion into divine grace. Take time to sit with God. Get on your knees and pray for help. Get on your knees and send gratitude to God. Pray for a deeper and more intimate connection to the true self and the God of your understanding. So the third of the 8 limbs is asana, the postures, physical body awareness and postures. Contemplate. Well, I didn't give you a chance, so if I can remind you after this last niyama, vara pranahana, surrender to God, pause and journal. Beautiful. So on to asana. Contemplate where you are disconnected to your physical body. Where do you withhold love and appreciation for your physical body? Where do you resist in asana practices? And which poses do you love and which ones do you resist and avoid? How do you connect with your body? How much do you love your physical body? Use the postures to reconnect in a loving way to your physical self, to your body temple, regardless of anything about it. Its size, its shape, its health. Love your body and become a more empowered body temple. You can pause and journal. Our fourth limb of the 8 limbs of yoga, pranayama, breath work. breath practices and awareness. Using pranayama practices can help with self-inquiry in several ways. First and foremost, we clear the mind. Breath work clears the mind and opens up that clear connection and that clear open channel for communication and awareness of the self. Pause and journal. The fifth, pratyahara, withdrawal. Withdrawal of external distraction, awareness on the inner sensations within your body. The aliveness, the pulsations, the trembling, whatever that is, the heart beating. Pratyahara is a perfect practice to complement self-inquiry because you bring your awareness inward to inner sensations, vibrations, contemplations. Enjoy basking deeply within while inquiring more deeply on the self. Pause and journal. The sixth limb is dharana, focus, concentration, focus. Now is your opportunity, while basking deeply within, to bring your focus on a question to contemplate. You can ask more than one question, just one focused question at a time. And here's some possible questions. What do I love to do? What do I like to do? What brings me joy? What did I do as a child? What makes me feel alive? How can I be more myself? What is my purpose in this life? How can I align my life in daily actions to my purpose? How can I be more playful, spontaneous, happy, and free? How can I love myself and nurture and pamper myself? I am deserving of all good things. How can I show myself this? How can I be true to my heart, honor my truth, align with my soul? How can I add more joy to my life? I invite you to pause, and you can go back to the recording and pause at any of those questions that may pull you to reflect inwardly, self-inquire. Our seventh of the 8 limbs is dhyana, meditation, uninterrupted flow of meditation. Take time after each question to sit in meditation. Clear your mind. Don't force any answers, just allow a space to open for that question or thought. And that thought or question may take root inside of you, and look with curiosity for something new or unexpected to arise. Be in the unknown. Pause and journal. Our last limb of the 8 limbs is samadhi union. Blissful union with the divine. Take time to simply bask in the ecstatic nectar of your being. No expectations, no contemplation, simply sitting in non-doing, allowing a deep sense of inner silence and stillness to take over and simply be love. Be your true nature. Bask in divine grace. Experience the deepest, most sacred aspect of yourself beyond words, stories, thoughts, understanding, description, beyond the body and this life. I invite you to pause and enter into a deep meditation without journaling, just moving into the experience of yourself. And we're going to move on to 12 karmic laws. You can use self-inquiry on the 12 karmic laws to access what type of karma you are building and growing on a daily basis. You can inquire ways you can build more positive karma in your soul. You can inquire how to live a more aligned and joyful life and how you can add more selfless service into your life. So we'll go through the 12 karmic laws. Number 1, cause and effect. What you put out in deeds, thoughts, actions, energy, and vibration, you will get back. What you sow, you will reap. This law has also been called the Great Law in some of the Vedas, aligning with the universal law of return and alignment. When you share, exude, and vibrate in the energy of loving kindness, the fruit and vibrations of loving kindness is attracted back to you naturally. Pause and journal and reflect. The second is the law of creation. You are fully empowered to create all your heart's desires in this life. This power dwells within you and takes effort by aligning with the law of cause and effect, aligning your thoughts, actions, emotions, and energetic vibrations with that which you desire, as well as practicing divine action. Our spirit is playing in a material world. And in order to gain material results, there are times we need to take guided actions to bring forth what we desire. We are exponentially empowered when we desire good, not only for ourselves, but for others as well. Pause and journal. 3, the law of humility. Being fully present to what is arising now, current circumstances, and your humble beginnings. Understanding you are neither better than nor less than any other being that exists. We all share one unified field and are equally loved by Creator Source. Knowing all power and strength come from our divine Creator, and we cannot succeed or even survive without Source, without others, or without community. When you are present and humble, knowing you are not in control, you are able to surrender to a power far greater than your separate identity allowing that power to move through your temporary form by following divine guidance and taking divine action in creating miracles in your life. Pause and journal. Reflect. The fourth law, the law of growth. Being dedicated to inner growth as a lifelong journey. As we grow and transform within, our outer circumstances will also transform. As within, so without. Personal growth aligned with your soul purpose is important in the evolution of your soul. If you belong to a certain religion or feel spiritually drawn to embodiment, studying philosophy or therapy, that is what you can pursue. Listen to your heart rather than what others or the majority are following. Your heart will pop books off the shelf, bring courses to your awareness, and opportunities for your soul development and growth. Use this life's opportunities and your inner guidance to grow ongoing. Pause, journal, and reflect. The fifth karmic law, the law of responsibility. Taking responsibility is a powerful way to move through life and can supercharge your growth and transformation. Giving up victim completely and operating in an empowered way by taking responsibility for how you respond to everything that occurs in your life. The law of cause and effect tells us that the frequency we vibrate at will attract like frequencies. When we take ownership of all the circumstances of our lives, good and bad, we get the opportunity to shift our frequencies. When we notice we have attracted negative circumstances or people, we can increase the frequencies that are attracting positive and loving circumstances and people. The outer world is a reflection of the inner world, always. The world you experience and how you perceive it is a projection of your own mind and your own consciousness, the inner consciousness. Use this to avoid being trapped in victim mentality. That is toxic and low vibrational, and powerfully choose to take responsibility. Give up all blame and look within and change. The sixth karmic law, the law of connection. Yogic philosophy and theology believes in the theory of oneness, that we are all connected on a deeper level, that there is one unified field or one mind that unites all individual souls and physical bodies and beings. On this level of oneness, we all exist in everything. Everything is transparent. Everything is one with Source and shares all that is. That we are connected to all aspects of ourself, on all dimensions, in all aspects of ourself, past, present, and future, and one with all beings and Creator Source. That to love ourselves enables us to have love for others. And when we give and share love to others, we give and share love to ourselves. Pause, journal, contemplate, and reflect. The seventh karmic law, the law of force. This law could also be called the law of focus, as it invites us to be present and single focused in directing our energy and attention rather than scattered and multitasking. This law believes that when you are single-pointed in your focus, you are more effective and create better results. It is difficult to access the indweller when our mind is distracted and going in many different directions. When we can quiet the mind and bring it into single-pointed focus, we can be in touch with our intuition and our divine guidance. The 8th karmic law, the law of giving. The law of karma is about selflessness, giving to others and serving humanity and the world in your unique way. To serve another, help another, not for self-gain or approval from others, but for the mere joy of the experience and the joy to give and help another. When an opportunity to give and be hospitable and kind presents itself and your heart is aligned, you seize the opportunity. To be okay with giving when no one sees, no one knows. Pure giving for the sake of the kindness in your heart. God knows all the kindness you give in every act of service, according to the law of karma, is known and credited in your soul. Pause and reflect. Journal. The 9th karmic law, the law of here and now. This law is all about being present, open-hearted, and mindful. Giving up the distractions of regrets from the past and worries about the future. When we are fully present with another, we are attentive, and our love flows generously to them. When we are present, we embrace the moment with clarity as it arises. Our interactions with others is engaged and alive. We are living life, sharing our love, and open-hearted. Pause and reflect. The 10th karmic law, the law of change. This could also be the law of evolution. As we grow in life, we evolve and become higher and higher versions of ourselves. If we are stuck in a pain cycle, repeating the same painful experiences, same pain, different forms, different faces and places, yet the same underlying suffering. We all know that. Same types of victim stories, same unfulfilling relationships. We are not growing. We need to upgrade and transform our thoughts, vibrational frequencies, behaviors, and patterns constantly to grow into new, higher versions of ourselves. If we have the same thoughts, the same grudges, the same patterns, we will most certainly have the same outcomes. To pause and reflect. Journal. The 11th karmic law, the law of patience and reward. All great things come with hard work and not giving up, even when you don't see progress. All great leaders faced challenges and had many opportunities to give up. But what made them great, what had them succeed in the end, was tenacity to continue on, have patience and faith as they traveled through the droughts and deserts of their path, to continue when there was no evidence of harvest, trusting the seeds they planted emotionally, physically, mentally. Through good works would come to fruition in divine timing. This isn't about forcing doors open. This is about following divine guidance and keeping faith and being patient throughout the process. Enjoying the journey before you see the evidence of your good works. Being grateful. The reward will come to those who persist through the ups and downs of life. We do our very best and let go of all attachment to the outcomes, having faith that the reward is being deposited within our soul, that a power greater than us will bring reward, even if that is in another lifetime. Pause and reflect. Journal. The 12th and last karmic law, the law of significance and inspiration. The law states our inherent worthiness as children of the universe, that we are all equally loved and valuable. We all have cherished gifts to give, and these gifts make a difference in our own unique way. That in sharing our love and our gifts, we make a powerful positive impact for good in the world and universe. Even if we can't see it, we trust it. Sometimes the small acts of kindness, what may seem little charitable gifts of the heart, make the biggest difference. As we give in our unique and individual way, we will receive back multiplied. Always know your life matters greatly, and you are important to the world, and any good you put out into the world, a smile at a child or an elderly person, opening a door for someone, a compliment or act of service is a gift to the world and yourself. We will always get back what we give out. Maybe not in the same form, but it will always come back energetically. Maintain alignment with your truth and give truly and generously from your heart, contributing positively to others, and the rewards will overflow. Dharma. So now we're going to move on, so pause and reflect for this last karmic law. Okay, karmic law of significance and inspiration. We're going to move on to Dharma, the highest destiny and purpose for your life. Decide a time in your busy day, maybe now, to sit with yourself, contemplating honestly what your highest purpose is for this life. What your highest purpose is right now in this time. It may change, but what is it now? What is the highest divine design and destiny of your life? What do you want to accomplish? What are your passions and desires? And what do you want to see for your life when you are done with your contract in this life? How do you want to look back on your life? Pause and reflect and journal. we're going to talk a little bit about journaling and automatic writing. Commit to putting aside some time every day to be alone and write and flow write, or what is also called automatic writing. What I love about this type of journaling is that you don't have to worry about the grammar, all those rules of grammar. You don't have to worry about meaning or spelling or sentence structure or any of the rules of writing. You simply dump out whatever comes through your mind and let it be. Whatever thoughts arise, you write down. Knowing we are not our thoughts, yet we are tuned into a thought channel, a channel of information. As you write, you open yourself up to higher vibrational channels and open those channels for higher ideas from your soul to flow more easily. You can ask a question or write on a theme or an idea, or simply just flow right from nothing. Pause and reflect. Inner child work and playfulness. As you dwell within and connect with your authentic self, allow that child to come out and play. Contemplate what you love to do as a child. What made you laugh? How did you play? What was fun for you? What were your dreams? In that time of innocence, our pure soul was authentic. So that which we loved as children points us to a higher evolution and higher version of what it is we are here to do and play as adults. Pause and journal and write. Healing core wounds and past hurts and limited conditioning. We are all pure diamonds, pure and holy, sacred children of the universe. Living a human life, we get wounds, we get conditioned. Some conditioning is good, some no longer serves. We get hurts and wounds. We can often lose sight of our self-worth and our value. So in a sense, self-inquiry and getting to know the divine self is not about changing what we are, but just cleaning the mirror, cleaning and removing and releasing all that no longer serves so that diamond, that gem, can shine brightly through. Pause, journal, and reflect. Our next subject is desire and passion. As we move through this self-inquiry, our desires and our passions are pointers to our purpose and our path. Journal and write and acknowledge and dig deep to discover what your desires are. What are your passions? And even if it's not popular, do it anyways. Follow your heart. Be true to yourself. Be honest. Maybe some of these desires and passions have been deadened. They're deep inside, barely alive. But trust me, they have not died. Passion and the desire within us can never die. Send them love, water them up, bring them back to life, and dig deep and discover what your deepest desires and passions are. Wild abandon. Don't limit yourself. Pause and journal and reflect. Self-love, alignment, and heart-centered joy. How can I love myself more? What does that look like? How can I love myself more in relationship with myself and others? So these are, I'm going to just list down a list of questions, and you can pause at any time if the question is one that you want to reflect on, and then I'll give you a chance to pause at the end. But you can pause at any time, any of the questions. How can I love myself more? By forgiving myself and finding ways to nurture myself. Self-care, nutrition, exercise, maybe a massage, a nice hot bath, a nice curling up and reading a good book, walking and giving yourself time in nature, or maybe a movie. On and on it goes. What are some ways that you can practice self-care? How can I love myself? By setting boundaries, not allowing others to take advantage of me. How can I love myself more? By the thoughts I choose to engage about myself and others. How can I love myself more? By forgiving others, letting go of grudges, so my heart can be joyous, open, and free. How can I love myself more? By living to my potential and not selling out on myself. And how can I love myself more? By doing what I love. How can I love myself more? Setting boundaries and saying no when necessary. Remember, every no has a yes and every yes has a no. So if you say no to someone else, you're always saying yes to your heart. And if you say yes to yourself, and that means it needs to be a no to the other person, it's always yes to the heart. Okay, honoring how can I love myself more? By honoring my time and moving confidently in the direction of my dreams. How can I love myself more? By consolidating my energy, not getting overwhelmed, not getting stressed, overextending, or spreading myself too thin. How can I love myself? Putting myself first, aligning with the truth above all else. How can I love myself more? By not caring what other people think and caring deeply what I think. Pause, journal, and reflect. Our next area of self-inquiry is mirror, owning projections, responsibility. A large part of self-inquiry is to take responsibility. responsibility for all that is projected outward from our inner consciousness, to heal the inner wounding with love and compassion, and rooting out all old programming, all disempowered ways, weeding out the reactivity within us that is no longer serving us. We are all perfect, whole, and complete. We are complete and wholly innocent children of the universe, wholly free. However, we have hurts, unconditioned beliefs, ways of being, learned patterns and conditioning, and old programming, all within our consciousness that blocks the brilliant light and love of God that lives within us. Self-inquiry can help us to witness our own mind and consciousness without any judgment, and bring some of the disempowered ways and wounded. We can bring some of these disempowered ways and wounded inner child to the light of our awareness. And only when we are aware of these patterns can we heal and disappear them. Often simply becoming aware of a hurt or conditioning heals and dissolves that energy immediately. One of the best ways to heal our mind and the wounded within our consciousness is to notice where we are upset with others. Where are we holding grudges with others? And use that reflection to see where we do the same to ourselves and others. Pause and reflect. Our next self-inquiry contemplation is embracing your gifts. Embracing and acknowledging your talents and unique vibrational contribution to the world. Take time to be honest with yourself about your gifts, about your talents, accomplishments, and strength, love, compassion, wisdom, creativity, passion, your intelligence, your beauty, your sense of humor. And all of this dwells within you. Starting to get tired, sorry. So acknowledge that you are a child of the universe, made in the likeness of God, the God of your understanding, an eternal, all-loving, wholly innocent awareness, consciousness, being, soul. Look at the impact for good your life has made for others. The example you are in the world. See how much you try and how you are doing your very best. There is no one in all the universe that is exactly like you. No one in all the universe that can fulfill the purpose you have come to fulfill. Take time to contemplate your magnificence now, the gift you are to the world and life itself. Pause and journey. Our last self-inquiry concept to discuss is coming home to the Atman, the soul, the infinite authentic self, and ultimately Brahman, the God of your understanding. Use time to self-reflect, to dive deeply into the unmanifest self, the unified field of oneness. Bring all your soul power back into your soul and bask inwardly, resting with all your attention within, and find that sweet stillness and peace that is your truest nature. The time to know yourself. Take time to know yourself beyond words, beyond all understanding, as a felt sense, a vibrational frequency of love that is unique to your soul. Bask in the nectar of your ever-expanding heart. Thank you so much for joining me for this self-inquiry on some of the yogic principles, using the yogic principles to inquire in a deeper sense of self-inquiry. And this is Ecstatic Yoga. I am Grace. You can go to ecstaticyoga.studio to find out more information on our yoga teacher trainings and retreats. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day. Namaste.